tab, and I think we're good. At least I hope we are. OBS says we are, so I'm going to believe OBS. Hello everyone, this is Chris Ingerson, and it is May 4th, and this is the May 4th TextQuest Devstream. So, today we're going to be going back into vertex animations on text. Specifically, we're going to be dabbling, messing around with, experimenting with a system that caches all of the vertex data so that multiple vertex animations can all happen at once. On Tuesday, we started messing around with the system, and we found out that because of how... Where did you come from? Oh, right. This is why you shouldn't mess with your code before you do a stream. Hold on. Override. Label info. I'm just going to return a new list. Okay. Anyway. So, what we did on Tuesday was we set up vertex animations, but we found out that because of how TextMesh Pro works, in order for vertex animations to actually stack on top of one another, I need to constantly basically force the vertex data to update. Now, that's not great for a number of reasons. Largely, the problem is that it's going to cause issues with things like this, which I will show you once I get over there. So, let's go say, ask about rocks. Alright, so you can see that we have two different text effects working here. One is we have the stealing characters text effect, which is causing these hyphenated gray dashes. And in this case, we're stealing the letter S. And the next is this rumble effect. Now, the problem with this is that because of the S's have to basically cache their, or not cache, but override their vertex information, we have to override the vertex information for every single character, not just the S's. And that means that when the rumble starts to recache itself, basically, it's going to cache these odd positions for their characters because of the rumbling. And that's why you sort of see that they're no longer really rumbling around the center point. They're rumbling around their sort of odd positioning after the S's were done shrinking. So I think I can ask about game. Will that solve it? Nope, because I got S's there too. So, but yeah, it's to show you an example of what that actually should look like. Let's go back down here. Input. Input. Let's grab that. I'm going to take off my output modifier for the time being, because that's what applies those text effects, or rather the text effect for the stealing. So, getting rid of that, we should be able to look at what the basic rumble animation should look like. The main thing is that, so ask about rocks. So you can see that they're much more legible. They're not nearly as scattered because they're actually using their original vertex positioning. So they're going to try to keep basically what their original positions were and then offset randomly from there, as opposed to offset randomly from their random positions. So the system that we are going to look at today is basically one that's going to cache all of that information, and then when these text animations want to basically cause any sort of vertex animation, we are going to reference that cached information. Or rather, the way I have it set up currently, and it's not functioning yet, but I have laid the groundwork for this, is I have a base info and then a modified info, and the base info is like the original vertex data of the label. That's the thing that's going to, keep a reference to all of the baseline stuff. That way we don't have to worry about, say, Rumble having its positioning all screwed up. Instead, we can just say, okay, Rumble is going to use this base label info for its basis. It's not going to try to use the modified one. Whereas the stealing is probably going to try to use the modified label info. Or rather, it's going to actually set the modified info label or label info because it's going to need to change some of the vertex information on those S's. And what we'll probably end up doing is probably actually everything is going to end up referencing the modified label info. But because of how it's going to be set up, that should basically prevent us from getting that weird situation where the rumble effect is no longer accurate or accurately mapping the original positions of the characters because it will be using this cached info. Now we might still need to be careful with how we do this. It's entirely possible that we basically will never want to have two vertex animations animating the same thing, because then that's like having two animations animating the same thing. You're just going to get fighting. So we do have to be careful about that. But aside from that, this system should, in theory, work. And like I said, I haven't tested it, so we're going to be trying to test it today and refining it, and hopefully we'll be able to get it to work. And if we're lucky, we'll be able to get the typewriter effect to work nicely with our other text effects as well. But we'll find out. So, let's see, where was I going to start? So, output section label info is a mono behavior that's just attached to every label that's used in an output section. So, to show you what that looks like. Come on. So I'll say ask about game, and then we'll go ahead and pause. Let's go navigate to our UI, view, input, root, output, scroll area, and Chris Speak section. So you can see that we have a label here, which is a TextMesh Pro or UGUI object, and then at the bottom here we have an output section label. Now it's got no publicly exposed things in the sense of anything in the visual inspector, but all of this stuff should be accessible via script. And what's going to happen behind the scenes is basically whenever these output sections are initialized, they're going to look at their text effects and say, okay, do I have any text effects? If so, I'm going to initialize my output section label info object. That way it can cache all of the positioning for the letters, for all of the characters, and we don't have to worry about it after that. So now that's happening. All of that initialization stuff should be happening. The next thing we need to do basically is have our actual text effects, in this case text rumble, reference the output section label info. So we're going to see how well we can get that to function today. And fortunately, every output section, do I have that pulled up? Here it is. Every output section has a function to get all of its output section label infos. For the most part, it's just going to be the one, but I needed to have a function that could return a list in case there are multiple ones. So basically, whenever a text effect needs to do something, I guess I can close some of these sections. I was updating this before the stream tonight. So whenever a text effect needs to actually grab this information, it should be able to just grab its output section and get its text or get its label infos. So let's see here. Let's look at the rumble effect. So the rumble effect, for example, here, this is probably the one that's using the most vertex animation. You can see that we're getting our list or our label info directly from the labels themselves, the TextMesh Pro UGUI labels. And we're going to do something similar, just instead of saying label info or label info.add labels of i.textinfo, which is retrieving it directly from the label. And we're going to get it from the output section. Well, actually, hold on. How do I want to phrase this? So we're basically going to do this. Get rid of you. Move this over here. Then we're going to do a for. Hold on. Let's do a cached list. Which actually, that's very simple now, isn't it? Okay. So yeah, we're just going to do, well, I can't do that. Can I? No, I totally can. So I lied. This is actually going to be. Dang it. Trying to think the best way to do this, because I would basically have to do section dot get what did I call them? Label info. That gives us a list of all of that label info. So, gross. We're probably gonna have to do something like this. Down here, we're gonna say list output label. What's going on here? Come on. Output label section label info. We'll call it info. I guess I shouldn't call it that. But I don't have anything else to call it, so I'll call it that. Equals section dot get label info. All right, and then we're just going to iterate through that to set up our label and cache mesh infos. So we'll say for int I equals 0, I is less than infod dot count I plus plus. All right, and then we're going to say label info dot add excuse me, info of I info. Where is this? Lost my train of thought. Info dot I dot here it is, base label info. And actually, we're going to want it to be modified label info. Alright. And then we're going to want to say label info, no, cached mesh info dot add info of I dot modified mesh info. Alright. Now, after that, we're going to want to come down here. And basically, we're going to change it so that instead of pushing this cached mesh info up to the label directly, although I guess we're going to have to do that, won't we? We're going to... Yep, we are. Okay. That's... Ugh. I wonder if I actually need to do anything there. Because I am passing a list, which should be a reference type. So it should basically just automatically handle that. Except we don't actually want it to, do we? No. And before we're done, we actually need to come up here to has changed and do all this stuff again. So, oh dear. Yeah, that's disappointing. Get rid of this to do, because that's what we're doing right now. So we're going to have to do the same thing. No, I don't, because it's stored. Good. It is stored. Crap, though. That will not really work. Jeez, will it? Hold on. Well, let's just try it. Alright, so we're going to say info of I dot modified mesh info is, I believe, what we want for that. Alright. It's as simple as that. And then I suppose we'll just say down here. I'm assuming that this is actually just going to pass references, so we'll give it a shot and see what happens. But I think that might be all we really need to do. The main thing is that we never want it to actually make a fresh copy. Instead, it should always work from modified mesh info. That is what is important. So, I wonder. That's fine, I think. So we might. I'm gonna put a little to do here. If we test this, so we can test this anyway. Push changes to modified mesh info. So basically, what should happen is that every text effect will get the modified text info, and then will, unless it only needs the base info, in which case I suppose it's fine if it does that. But for the most part, it's probably going to want to do the modified text info, and then we'll be able to use that to get accurate positioning without having the rumble go crazy, or any other vertex animations going crazy. So if it looks the same and we don't get errors, I think we're in a good spot. Ask about rocks. Shite. Well, that's not good. No, is it? No, it is not. No, it is not. And I am guessing that that is because initialize was not called on this. I don't know if that was correct or not. I don't see this. Oh, no, there it is. Well, let's look at our speak section just to make sure. Speak section. Make sure we're not doing anything weird over here. So we have base.initialize, which does that call initialize effects? Yes, it does. Effects. Okay. So we're going to start coroutine, initialize, coroutine delay. I'm a little worried that potentially that typewriter effect basically means that it's not going to accurately refresh anymore. So I might actually come down here, go to definition, and down here at the very bottom, I think we're going to say crap. Can I get away with just the one? Yes, I should be able to. Hooray! Label info dot initialize. So that should force it to basically reinitialize when it's done typing, and we'll see if that actually ends up doing anything. The goal is that ideally, we don't want. We can't really have vertex animations that cache the wrong thing on start. They need to be sure that they're initialized properly. Otherwise, it won't work. So ask about rocks. Good. Good. Okay. So it was just a vertex problem. And I'm guessing that's because they were transparent for the frame after we cached them. Or actually the frame that we cached them in, which would cause problems, obviously. So, now I think we'll try to use the steel. So we'll try to layer this with the steel char stuff. And before we can do that, I need to basically come down here and do a bunch of stuff. So we're going to have a list, put section label info, dot, info is equal to get label, what's going on here? Oh, right, did that wrong. Oh, come on. Section dot get label info. All right. Next. Okay, so we're gonna say labels.count, which should be, and a quick notice that there should never be a size difference between the labels lists and the output section label infos list. They should, because there should always be one output section label info per output section label, which is convenient for us because it means we can do stuff like this. Info of j dot modified label info. All right. And finally, this should be, instead of that, although I guess that would make sense, should be, I'm going to comment that out for now. Info of j dot modified mesh info. Okay. Almost there. Text info. Okay, so everything's being handled properly. That's good. And cool. Alright, I think we're good. So let's take a look at that. And that does mean that I'm going to need to change my input view to have a secondary text effect. Compile. I command you to. There we go. Where are you? Ugh. I hate it when it does this. It basically, oh, there it is. Okay, never mind. I was just blind. Okay, so let's assign a strike output modifier again. That's going to give us those stolen chars. So let's see what happens. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. I have no idea if it'll work, but I'm hopeful. Ask about rocks. Ooh. Well, so it did work, technically. As you can see, our Rumble characters are moving around the correct point. But the S's were just instantly vanished, basically. They just went, pff, gone. I don't know why that would be. So that was weird. Why on earth would that be the case? Wait, does refresh effects call? Peak definition. Oh, that's nothing really. Okay. Basically, all that refresh was doing was telling any other text effects that we've modified the vertex data, and that they should pull down again. Which is that actually something that's happening here? No, it's not happening here, but that's fine. Why would it not work? Because basically the problem here with the steel chars is that T has to be getting set to 1, basically. But that's super weird. Didn't seem like that would be the case. Because there was no fight. It just went straight from full to nothing. But the strike through is still there, so I don't really know why it's doing that. Ask about rocks. It must have something to do with the rumble, because if you'll notice, the ask about rock S's are fine. They're fading as would expect. But the one down here is not. It's problematic. Is it just not getting initialized properly? I don't know. That doesn't seem right. What if... Um, actually, now that I think about it, this steel coroutine should basically happen right away. So it waits for the other vertex animation to finish. And then it just... Hmm. And then it disappears. That's really weird. Okay. I'm curious. So is it? Does it think maybe that? See, the only thing I can think is that the characters that we're looking at are getting their initial vertex positions cached, which is again nothing because their geometry is hidden. Um, and then this lerp just happens all at once because there's nothing to steal. It just sets their vertex to be 0 and then goes away. So that's not great. Um, and indeed, well, I mean, no apply effect is getting called after I tell it to initialize, so it really shouldn't cause problems. But just to be sure, debug.log. Oops, test. All right. So I'm curious if this event's going to fire as soon as we start getting the typewriter effect or afterwards. I would think it would be afterwards, but I could be wrong. So we'll find out. Ah, excuse me. Ask about rocks. So yeah, it does happen as soon as it starts. That's not good. Wait, no. Wait, what? Hold on. Keep my eye on this. It shouldn't actually happen as soon as we start. It should happen when initialize is called. What the heck? It was called there. How was it called there? Oh, because steel chars is... No, never mind. Hold on. Ask about rocks. Okay. So, it got called a lot. It got called way more than once, which is quite odd. I don't actually know why that happened. I mean, if that's the case, then it kind of would make sense that it would just crash, or not crash, but shrink so fast, because you'd have multiple coroutines all shrinking it. Though they really should have been fighting more than working together, I would think. But let's see here. Let's look at the stack trace. They're different each time. Interesting. Huh. So this one starts at speak section 93. Take a look at that. Speak section 93. Oh, steel char. I was going to say that's not right. 93 is we're applying the effect. That's fair. That's what these bottom two are. And then this one starts at the parser speak section. Text section 48. Oops. Text section 48 is initialize. Oh, I see. Crap. Dang it, that's not good. That's really not good. Okay, hold on. Yeah, crap. See, now hold on a second. How did initialize shouldn't call unless I put it there, did I? No, apply effect is the only thing that we care about. So let's find all references here. Let's see, speak section, no. Apply effect. Ah, crap, we do it on initialize. Then maybe I should just comment that out. I guess that would make, oh crap, it's gonna cause problems. So that would actually explain a lot. Let's see if this will fix it then. That would be why it was set to 0. But interestingly enough, that's what's really weird about that is the fact that it seems like the typewriter just says that it has the last word. Seriously. All right, hold on. Text section. Now I need to explicitly call apply on everything. Of course we do. Let's peek this. Effect.initialize, applied effects. Alright. And finally, I suppose we'll basically just come down here and say, do I need to have like an apply effects function? Probably wouldn't hurt. So, protected, void, I'll make it virtual, void, apply text effects. Rename this, looks like I had a lowercase t for text here. Anyway, I'm going to say for int I equals 0, I is less than applied effects dot count I plus plus. Oops. We're going to say applied effects dot of I dot apply effect. All right. So we will initialize. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Does it take? Good. Okay. So we'll just call apply text effects after initialize up here. Boom. Done. Simple. Now let's see if it worked. Ah, crud. I just realized I'm calling base.initialize here, which is completely defeating the purpose. Dang it. I can't get a break. Can I? Nope. Of course not. Of course not. Well, I'm just going to do this then. So in our speak section under initialize, we'll comment out base.initialize and do this. Or maybe I can just put apply at the bottom of this. Ooh, that's a lot better. All right, hold on. Let's go back to our text section. We're going to move apply text effects out of initialize and put it into initialize text effects. Because initialize text effects is actually pretty much always going to just get overridden to do whatever it needs to do. And then apply text effects should hopefully comply with that. All right. Come on. All right. So we're going to say, okay, so the S's went away. That's good. Ask about games. Kapow! Oh, wait. Hold on. Oh, wait, no, sorry. Ask about game. Ah! So that wasn't quite right. Okay. God, it got called like 5 times. So many times. Here comes the label info. Huh. It's interesting. It wasn't an index out of range exception. It was a null reference exception. That's interesting. Same spot. Yeah. Hmm. Okay. Does it have something to do with applying the text effects and initialized text effects? Let's come up here. We have initialize, which is going to call base initialize. Peak definition. All right. And then should we call apply effect? No. No. Effects shouldn't try to initialize themselves properly. No, they shouldn't try to apply themselves. They should initialize fine. Again, being told to do so, but they should never just go straight into apply effect from initialize. That's kind of causing the problems we're seeing now. So, label info of I is null, apparently. I don't even know how that's possible. How could a label not have any info on it? That 2 is being called from apply effect. Maybe it's because of this. I mean, it certainly is possible. I really don't want to have a delay. But we may have to do so. We do have to do so. Piece of crap. Maybe apply should not just not be applied here. Hold on. All right. Maybe I need to just have a coroutine delay here, see if that fixes it. So protected IEnumerator. What do I want to call it? Apply, or yeah, apply delay. And then I guess I would just say yield return null. Apply text effects. Okay, let's see if that works. Oh, I need to come down up here. And say start coroutine, apply delay. Alrighty then. Let's go ahead and clear this. Play. Okay, so it goes away fine there. Let's say ask about game. Ah! So we didn't get null references that time, which is good, but I think the problem is this. It's this stuff. It fires so fast. I guess to double check, I'm going to put, instead of test, I'm going to put the name of the owning section. So section.name. That way we can, at the very least, make sure that it's the correct one. Because that, let's see, it should only fire in the interactions that I have 1, 2, 3 times. It should only fire 3 times. but it is clearly firing more than that. So I would like to know if it's doing duplicates, if it's all on the speaking prefab one. What is it? I want to know. So let's go ahead and say ask about game. It is all happening on the speaking section one. Everything else happens exactly when it should. Great. That's great. Find all references. So this is only being called from apply effect, which means that it's wherever apply effect is being called from. Okay. So we're calling applied effects I.apply effects, and this is in reveal characters. Oh. I don't think we want that actually. I think we want it to happen elsewhere. Okay. No. That's actually where we want it to be. We want it to apply those effects after we get through the typewriter effect. Okay. Well, I don't really know what else to do it on. So that's kind of odd. Okay, let's take a look at the stack trace. It's the same for the top bunch. The bottom one is completely different. But this one comes out of steel chars. Line text section line 73. All right, let's look at text section 73. I'm guessing this is just the apply. Yep. Okay. Where are you used? Are you used anywhere else? Nope. You're only used in text section. Of course you are. Jeez, this is ridiculous. Oh, duh! I'm doing it again. I did it again. I just completely. Jeez. So that means I'm just gonna have to overwrite. Jeez, that's so nasty. No, hold on. I think I just put this in the wrong spot. Okay, let's try that. Okay, now hopefully it's not going to apply it multiple times. We'll find out. Shazam. Abracadabra. There we go. Okay. Ask about game. Okay, so we knocked off a couple. We're still getting multiple firings, though. I think the main problem is that it's probably these top three. Oh, hello. Yeah, so the top two are different from the bottom two. That's good. Let's see. Apply text effects at text section 72. Apply effect. Hold on. So here in initialize, find all references. Let's check if our speak section has an initialize override for 1. Surely this is it. Yes. Okay, good. Okay, let's go ahead and get rid of this. Am I still playing? I am still playing, so I'm gonna have to stop. Okay. So on text changed. Okay. That's so weird. Back up here. So it's the top parts are the same. It's just whatever tells it to actually do something. So speak section line 93. That's the wait no. Oh right, I deleted some stuff. So yeah, that's the applied effects stuff versus this top section, which is text section line 81. 81. Oh yes, the apply delay. But again, it's super weird. I wonder. No, that wouldn't work. Well, I wonder if I should just tell my steel charge to use the base info instead of the modified info. But that actually I don't think is the problem. I think the problem is that it's got multiple coroutines firing when it should only fire once. Why are these happening twice? All right, let's work our way backwards. So apply text effects. Where is that called? It's called in one spot. Apply delay. Find all references. It's called in one spot. Initialize. Okay, where's initialize called? It's called input view. Okay, that's what I'm going to do it multiple times. It is called in initialize book section. Empty section we don't care about. Map section, not really a factor. Woods map, not really a factor. Speak section. It does have its own initialize, but I don't think it's... Wait, hold on. Text section. Initializes initialize text effects. Whereas this is... Oh. Well, that could be part of it. You can see that it's... Okay. Let's do that. I don't think that's actually going to do anything. Oh, hold on. Peak definition. Nope, I lied. I did have that backwards. So we're going to do this, I think. That's what we want to do. I feel like I have that backwards for some reason, but we'll find out. So that explains why we were getting duplicate initialize calls at the very least. Although, hold on. Peak definition. Ah! I just can't win. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to just do this. Text is equal to text. Very simple. Let's see what that does. Because I got a good feeling about that. I can't explain it. Kapow. Kabam! Alright. Ask about games. Or just game. Okay. So it's that's good. I mean, it looks bad, but it's good. Because the fighting means pretty much what I was expecting it to mean. Which means that I just need to push the modifications up, I think, to the modified vertex information. But both of them fired, and they only fired once, and the S's didn't break everything. So that's good. So let's look at this again. So I can get rid of that. So that's a bit of a downer. I can't really call base.initialize. But second thing, I'm going to come back up here, or down here. Excuse me. Text info. Dot mesh info. Okay. Hold on. Text info dot character count. This is that. Okay. So I think what I want to do is at the end of all of this. Okay, good. I'm going to have to do this. I equals 0, I is less than info.count, I plus plus. I think I'm going to want to say info of I is equal to text info. What the freak? Where's text info declared? Huh. Hello, 18 Mark Wick. I'm here to sleep, Mr. Smooth Voice. Yes, well, I'm telling you, if you ever want to sleep and you want to watch something while you're doing it, watch Cosmos, the original Cosmos with Carl Sagan, because Neil deGrasse Tyson is cool. He's very suave. He doesn't have that very how do I describe it? Relaxing sound. Like his voice is good. It's buttery, but something about the original, like Carl Sagan, is just he's fun to listen to, but you can just go right to sleep listening to that guy. He's just got like this wonderful soft intonation and very very lucid with his word choice. It's just wonderful. Um, anyway, so how do I want to set this up? Um, so I basically want to say info.count. Because we're setting the text info, which does that mean that? Well there we go. There's the problem. Um, okay, so actually I don't want to do int I here. I think I just want to say info of j is equal to text info. Is that right? No, that's not. Oh, right. No. Info.j dot modified label info is equal to that. And then info of j dot modified mesh info is equal to text info dot mesh info. I think we'll be able to do that. Okay. And then once we do that, I think we'll be able to basically say, yeah, no, that should work actually. Let's find out if that actually pushes things up. I'm hoping that it will. I miss my tooth. Miss 3 more. Oh man, gotta go to the dentist, man. It's very important. Gotta get those teeth cleaned. Sorry, moved my mic by accident. Gotta get those teeth cleaned. They're gonna cause problems otherwise. All right. Come up here. Let's go out. Yes. No! Crap! It almost worked. Because now we're back to where we were, where the mesh positions for the. Are they drifting? Oh my god, I think they're actually drifting. Oh god, we've made it worse. They're slowly drifting away. Um, what did we do? Uh, oh no. Okay. Hold on. I mean, it's fascinating to see like how the letters just over time just drift. Space for braces. That's brutal. No one likes braces. I still have my permanent retainer actually at the bottom of my jaw. Well, the bottom, as in the front of my, or the bottom teeth in my front teeth. So, I know your pain. Well, this is clearly gone south. Um, oh yeah, and just as a forewarning, when you get your braces, the day you get them, your teeth are going to feel fine, but afterwards, your teeth are going to hurt, like for a week. You will not be able to chew anything. I mean, well, maybe dentistry has come, or I guess orthodontistry has come a long way since I had mine like 10 years ago. But yeah, it was not a good time. Uh, yeah, I couldn't even eat lunch meat. That's how like sensitive my teeth were. They just like the slightest pressure would be like. "Arr!" So just as a warning, your teeth are gonna hurt for the first week. Afterwards, you'll be fine. But it's just yeah. Although you won't ever be able to chew gum again, or eat caramels, or caramels, or pretty much anything that involves biting into things. Can't really do that. No corn on the cob. Your teeth won't really like it if you try that. Well, I mean, it's not like it's the most soul-crushing pain ever, and it's not like you're going to be in constant pain. It's literally only when you try to chew. Any other time, if you're talking, if you're just existing, just being there, you're fine. But if you just chew on something, your teeth will be like, ah, what are you doing? There are things here that aren't supposed to be here. Anyway, is it because refresh effects is getting called? We're not calling. Actually, hold on. Let's go to Rumble section. Rumble effect. Or better yet, let's actually go to our output section label. I'm curious to see when this is getting called. So I'm probably going to do a quick set debug here. Same up here. Bug.log setting. We'll do setting label. And then debug.log setting mesh. Oof. Man, that's so brutal. So were these like wisdom teeth? Or just like molars or something? Because I've had my wisdom teeth out. As well as two of my molars. Actually, when I went to get my wisdom teeth out, I had 6 teeth removed. That was fun for like a week afterwards. Still got the hole in my mouth. Never goes away. Although I will tell you that the bags they put you on, the IV drip stuff to knock you out, that stuff's magic. You're like, they do the thing where they stick it in your arm, tell you to count back from 10 to 0, and I made it to like 8, maybe 7, and then I was just. Ask about Okay, so are we constantly setting it? No, but why are they drifting? Or are they not drifting now? No, they are most definitely drifting. It's just odd. It did set it 729 times. Oh my god, what is up with this? It's so weird. Uh, well, out of curiosity, I'm going to get rid of my output modifier. I want to know if it's the rumble causing that problem or if it's the stealing causing that problem. It's got to be the stealing. Okay. Yeah, because rumbling is not causing this problem. No, I know what you're talking about. Yep. Getting teeth pulled is never a fun thing. Let's see here. So that unfortunately does mean that our stealing function is kind of breaking things. I wonder, should we just do this then? I mean, that doesn't make sense. No. Well, yeah, no, yeah, no, yes. Hold on. So, oh, why are you not freaking out here? Are you telling me that we actually had more? Oh. Oh. Well, that's interesting. Now, isn't it? I think. Ah, okay. Well, crap. I would have to restructure this. So we have a problem, which actually also explains why we had sequential stealing going on for books and large labels. It's because we're looping through our labels first, and then we're yielding inside that for loop. Where what we should be doing is basically having this float value and this while loop be the upper, like the topmost loop, and then have the label stuff inside that while loop. I would think, right? Because all this stuff. Um, why am I? Oh, right. I had to manually set. Do we? Wait, what? Do we care about this color? Hold on. I don't even think we need that. Because I think our style tags will do that for us. If that's the case, we don't need to worry about color or doing vertex colors. Um, so how high were you? Funny line of text. Damn, that was a funny joke. You mean like when I've been writing this stuff? Because I'm not very productive when, or I guess I wouldn't be productive doing that. It'd be super hard to focus. Um, so ask about game. Okay, so we're getting the fight. No, it's still drifting. That doesn't make sense. How is it still drifting? Like this is okay. So this is what's really weird. It's not setting the mesh anymore. Like it's not setting all of our. Yeah, see, like it only did it once, but they're still drifting. I don't understand how that could possibly be the case. What should be happening is basically only the S's should be affected by this, but for some reason everything else is having its pivot adjusted or something. It's weird. It has to be something like my label information is just completely screwy, but it's not. It's weird. I don't know how else. I don't know how else to describe it. I've never seen. I don't. Of course, I've never seen this because we just started doing this week. Um. Hmm. I don't. I'm going to take a screenshot of that. Or at least I'm going to try to take a screenshot of that. There we go. Let me grab that real quick. Like to, I need to do a better job of keeping like a running sort of functionality. Bunch of screenshots. Anyway, so why? Because you can see that we only set the label in the mesh twice. Twice. does it set it twice? That's interesting. It should only set it once, right? Let's see. Ask about game. Setting mesh. Setting. Okay, I did it twice. What happened there? Um. Hmm. Okay. I'm gonna put a debug here. Test one. Test two. I'm curious if it's firing both those times. Scare matter of organic life form. Although speaking of scary things popping up behind you, I think the new Alien movie is coming out soon. Although, I mean, it's clearly more in style of Prometheus rather than Alien. So, less horror and more, I don't know, biologists and astronauts who are supposed to be incredible. Oh, what happened here? That was a lot of test one firing. So, that hopefully won't be the case. Ask about game. Huh. Oh, I bet I know what it was. Okay, okay, okay. So it wasn't. Okay. So it wasn't that the character label was firing twice. It's that the input label was firing and then the character label was firing because they both have a delay before they fire. So, not to show you what I mean. Once it's done compiling, I guess. Next time. Ask about game. So now it'll do it, and then now it'll do it. So yeah. So these first two are from Ask About Game, and the second two are from this game. Has been worked on for quite a while. Um, so that's one mystery solved. However, it still doesn't solve the mystery of the wandering vertex animations, because nothing should be doing anything with them. Maybe no. Should I tell everything to refresh? No, that doesn't make sense. Let me look at the rumble effect. Huh. Down here at the bottom. Hmm. Pushing changes. Updating geometry. I'm gonna drag this over here to text or to steel jars. Huh. Review. Review. It's gotta be something in here that I'm missing. Do I? I mean, the while loop isn't getting stuck. If this stuff is happening, that should be the end of the loop. Um, okay, cool. So I can get rid of this whole chunk though because we're not using it. Nor are we using you. Hooray! Get rid of you. All right, so I just shortened this chunk of code by quite a bit. Always feels nice. Just melting words. Um, you? Nope. Get rid of that. I almost wonder if I need any of these things, even. Well, let's find out. Comment out basically all of this. And then we're going to see if removing it did anything. Because I think all we care about is this scaling, honestly. Still, though, I would like to know why I'm getting vertex drift. That's super weird. Oh, shite. Nope. Apparently we do. So let's get rid of that. Let's try it again. Make sure. Kapow. Alakazam. There we go. Come on. And now you can do it, Unity. Skip out game. Okay, there we go. So what's really weird is that it looks like the rumbling stays in line until our stealing is done, and then it just starts freaking out. So don't know what's happening there. That's really weird. To program a walk of text for him? Trump doesn't use computers. That's not hyperbole, really. He's actually said that he doesn't use computers. I don't think he uses email. I think he just yells really loud. That's my assumption. Huh. Why on earth would... See, now here's the other really weird thing, is that the drift, I would almost expect the drift to actually happen on the S, because none of this vertex information should be getting changed for anything but the character that is being targeted, which in this case is upper and lowercase s's. But that's clearly not the case. It's freaking out. But why? So if I do this, does that prevent it from freaking out like that? Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure that Russia doesn't need emails to get dirt on Trump. So ask about game. It's fighting. Huh. So if I don't push the changes, if I don't push the modified vertex information up, then the rumble stays in place. But if I do, then the rumble freaks out. I wonder why. Wait a second. No, that doesn't make sense. No. I wonder if, because we're calling refresh right here. No, that doesn't make sense. It would affect it here. I'm kind of wondering if, for some reason, the other values are basically just getting screwy. Because calling refresh effect here should call refresh on itself, essentially, which should basically call initialize again. Wait, no, that doesn't make sense. Oh yeah, it just calls the has text change stuff. That's right. Which we're not actually really doing here. So, like, we're not doing anything with it in steel chars, although we probably should. Um, so, wonderful. I've got to be missing something. Maybe if I push the info before I called refresh, would that fix it? I doubt it, but we'll find out. Okay. Test this out. Although speaking of presidential elections and whatnot, um, Netflix is getting another season of uh, House of Cards, which if you've not had the drift, it's the where's it coming from? Um, which anyway, I do. It seems actually worse. I do recommend House of Cards, and last season actually ended months before Trump really got into the campaign, like at least any notable level, and it's kind of eerie the similar rhetoric that was starting to be employed by Frank Underwood. Like nowhere near as much hyperbole. He's because Frank Underwood's actually a politician, but the idea of stoking fear to become elected was kind of spot on. Um, all right, go ahead and get some sleep. It's good for you. Um, I will just be here banging my head against the keyboard trying to get this to work. So, why are we getting drift? We know it has something to do with modifying our label and mesh info here, but I don't quite know what the problem is. God, what else could we do? I mean, we could try doing this, like not pushing up mesh info. I'm wondering if that would actually do it. I seriously doubt that's actually going to help. I think it's going to give us the struggling S's, and then they'll just be full form again. Alakazam, compile. But we'll see what ends up happening there. Because we're close, I think. Okay, so the S's are good there. Ask about game. So yeah, we're getting the struggle, and then they pop back in. So I have to push mesh changes. If I don't, then they just won't update properly. Jeez, that's so brutal. But I still don't know what is the problem with the drifting. I don't know what would cause that. It's really odd. So let's come back down here. Just out of curiosity, make sure. So we're doing modified mesh info there. That's good. That's what we want. Modified label info, modified mesh info. It just means that we have to be doing something really stupid. Because what should be happening here is basically we should only be making changes to our characters that are being looked for. So in this case, S. And then everything else should be exactly the same. That's what I would think would happen, but that doesn't seem to be the case. It seems like it just doesn't want to do that. That's so weird. Why would it not want to do that? Source vertices. Okay. We're not doing anything weird anywhere else. We're getting the same modified mesh info as everyone else. We're not going to apply effect like we were originally, which is fine. Get rid of. I can probably actually get rid of these functions, considering I'm not actually overriding them. Huh. It's got to be something weird, something innocuous and small that I'm missing. I don't think pushing just the mesh and not the label would help. So I wish I could. Can I even look at this stuff in real time? Is it serialized? It is serializable. Alright, well, let's try to take a look at it then. Because at the very least I can compare the base mesh information to the modified one. It's going to be a bunch of vector 3s, but, you know, it's still comparable. And I can at least look at the vector 3s of the modified mesh data and see if they're moving. Because they should not move after they're done with the stealing. So let's see. Ask about game. Okay, I'm going to pause this real quick. Where are we? One of these days we'll get there. Okay, so this is the label. Let's go to debug. All the way down here. Modified label info. Crap. So the label info is serializable, but the mesh info is not. Dang. Do these look different at all? Nope, they are identical. So not really much is changing in terms of modified label info, which I guess makes sense. Because really the only things that would change are going to be the vertex information, which is part of the mesh info. So that's really annoying that it's not serializable. Wait, but I looked at this. It totally is. Then why is it not? Hold on. We should have a private variable called modified mesh info there. I mean, it's an array of them, but if they're serializable, then it shouldn't matter. So, why can't I see them? Okay, let's try that one more time. Make sure that for some reason I just wasn't stupid and missed it. Ask about game. All right. Got a lot of things. All right, label. So let's come all the way down here. Nope. Huh. That's super weird. All right. I wonder if I can get it from here. Probably not. Huh. All right. So that's not going to help us, is it? The drifting. Why does it happen? The only thing I can think is that the origin point is different, but how? We're not changing it. It shouldn't be updating. And from our console, it's not. I mean, it did 727 times, but it's not right now. But they're still drifting. And that's kind of weird. Great. Just wonderful. See, and here's the thing. I can't actually really use base mesh info because the base mesh info is what it looks like at the very beginning. which is to say the S's would still be scaled. So that doesn't really solve my problem. My problem seems to be something about this specifically. Something about assigning the mesh info is off. And I don't know what. Because it really, really should not be doing anything weird. Like I don't know what would cause drift like that. It's really weird. Let me come up here to text effect. Not text effect, rumble effect. Maybe no, that wouldn't make sense. Like all I could think is that maybe I'm caching something wrong here. Actually, I might have been. Okay, hold on. I might have been doing that. This should probably be. Let's see, cached mesh info. I think. Right? Surely that's what. Huh. Okay. Should I also say this? Label info of I is equal to modified. I'm sorry, is equal to info of I dot modified label info. I don't know why that would mean anything, but you know we'll take a look at it. Text info dot mesh info vertices. Okay, let's try that. Who knows? Who knows? Certainly not me. Trying to understand a vertex animation system is quite challenging. Mostly because it's a lot of vertex 3s. Or vertex 3s, vector 3s. Ask about game. Dang it. It's still drifting. I was kind of hoping that it would, like, it was just something weird about that, but nope. Dang it. But why is the question? I don't know what would cause this. Okay, hold on. Are we even doing anything with cached? I guess we are. That shouldn't cause problems. Okay, well. It has to be something. It has to be a weird combination of stealing and rumble effect. Like that's the only thing I can think of because stealing doesn't cause drift on anything else, and rumble effect doesn't cause drift on itself. So it has to be it's a combination of these two things, and it has to be something about modified label info and modified mesh info. Actually, just modified mesh info because when I remove the line that sets modified mesh info, everything's fine, except the S's are unscaled. But that's because it's stupid and annoying. So my question is, why? I don't know. I do not know. Okay. What if has text changed is just left open? Is that why? I mean, I put it in there for. Nope. Don't know what's. there. God, this is gonna bug me so much. Because we should be able to do both, not just one animation. We know that we can do both. It's just very frustrated. What is happening? It has to be something like this. It has to be. Maybe it's the Matrix. Maybe the Matrix is wrong, and that's why it's freaking out. Because I could see that potentially causing an issue, but it still seems odd to me. Like I don't really know what would cause it. Source vertices here, cache mesh info, which does get refreshed. So I can get rid of this label call too. Then down here we're going to say modified mesh info is equal to text info.mesh info. But that's what causes. It's a wonderful catch-22 because if I don't push this stuff up, our stolen characters won't remain shrunken and stolen. But if I do push this up, our rumble causes drift in all of our characters. And there's got to be some way of preventing that. Text info.mesh info, and then we call refresh. Jeez. I mean, I'm not crazy, right? Like we're doing the right assignments and everything. Yeah, info of J, modified mesh info is equal to cache mesh info. Perhaps, perhaps that's what needs to happen. Maybe I need to update cache mesh info if has changed is true. So if I move this stuff, I will do info of J, I guess. Okay. What are you complaining about now? Wait, what? Oh, right. Okay, never mind. I thought for a second, I was like, wait, was I assigning the wrong... Because I was trying to assign vertex information for a char to vertex information to an array. Okay. I mean, worth a shot, right? I would think so. Maybe I should put this up here, actually. And of course, we gotta convert this. Okay. Can't do J. I don't think I have to do K. All right. Oh, gross. What the heck? No, this is not right. I guess I gotta make this K, don't I? There we go. That is incorrect. I think. Huh. That is incorrect. I think I just want to do this. So instead of having it be inside of a for loop, just have it be out. Let's try that. Because basically what I'm doing is I'm setting that information anytime I go into a new label iteration anyway, so I don't really need to update them all there. I can just update the one I'm currently looking at. Let's see here. Okay. Oh, was that instant? Hold on. That is super fast. That's... Yep, I was worried about that. It's trying to lerp from 0 to 1, but because... Or from 1 to 0, actually, but because 1 is constantly shrinking, it's basically just going super fast. Even so, I'm curious what Ask About Games will look like. Oh, right. Ask About Game. And we still get drift, so that didn't work. Not that it mattered. Right? We still have drift. Surely this is... Yeah, this is definitely drift. Okay. So that did not help. Wonderful. Just wonderful. Jeez. I'm going to debug what my midline is here. Like what it thinks my char base midline is. I'm going to say debug.log char base or char mid baseline. All right. And if that number's jumping around a lot, which I don't think it will. I'm pretty sure that it won't. We'll see. That number should be fairly constant, but if it's constantly changing, that might mean that we are basically always moving it. Okay. Ask about game. It is always moving. That's interesting. I don't think we want it to always be moving. We're like rapidly counting down, it seems. Hold on. Is this per character? Yeah, it's per character. Great. So that's not really going to be a good thing. So I can't really do that. That's not going to give me anything useful. What to do here? Huh. Do I have a center point? No. I have an offset, but not a center point. Ugh. It's bugging me so much. It shouldn't do this. It's not the matrix, is it? Surely it's not. That would be so freaking weird. I wish I knew more about vertex animation, but I clearly don't. Destination vertices, text info, dot mesh info, material index vertices. all that stuff should get set ahead of time. And it all has to have, I think it has to have something to do with rumble effect. And the reason I say that is because after we push all of our changes up with steel chars, it's done. Like it's done. It only runs for like half a second, and then it's done. It's not got a coroutine. It's not going to continue updating. It cannot. It is done. So anything that changes has to be a result of the rumble effect, right? Like that's the only thing I can think of. So if we hit play, skip out game, shrinking, and then the S's stay small, but everything else keeps wiggling out of place. And it just has to be. I'm going to try something, just out of curiosity. Rumble effect. Base mesh info. So I'm going to set it to be the original mesh info. I'm curious. What I think will happen is basically everything will be snapped to the center, and the S's will be large again. We'll see. Ask about game. Yep. Oh, that's so infuriating. So if we just leave it alone, it works. But if we try to use the modified mesh data, it goes haywire. And it's gotta have something to do with Rumble. It has to. But I don't know why is the thing. Like I don't know what would cause Rumble to essentially drift. So let's make that modified mesh info again. And then, don't know. So, I wonder. No. Let's see what we can do here. Vertices. Destination vertices. Not doing anything really odd with our matrix. I don't think we are. Get rid of you, you're not working. I mean, surely I don't actually want to push this modified mesh info stuff either. Surely not. What if? Well, worth a shot. All right. Hold on. This is gonna be weird. So let's. That's a sucky thing. So I do have to push this modified stuff here. But maybe at the end I can tell it to set everything back to normal except for the modified characters. So what if I did this? For int I, come on, int I equals 0, I is less than info of j dot base mesh that's good. I plus plus. I'm sorry. Dot length. All right. So we're gonna say info of j dot modified mesh info is equal to hold on, if info of j dot crap, hold on, that's the text info, no, dot modified label info dot character count dot character info of I. What is it? Chars dot contains that. So it's character info. I think I want to say dot character. So if that's contained, then we're going to set our modified info to be the. Or no, sorry, if that's not contained, then we're going to set info j to info j dot base mesh info. I think. No, that's not right. This is of I, and then of I. Okay, let's see what that does, if nothing else. Oh man, that's such a messy thing to do. Basically, when I'm done, I'm setting everything but my modified chars to be back to the base. I honestly don't know if that's going to work very well or not. So, I mean, it worked there, but the real test is here. Ask about game. Well, we got a null reference exception. That's good. Um, huh. I wonder. I wonder if it's because they're jostling for positioning, basically. Oh, wait. That's interesting. It might not have vertices. Ah, hold on. That, um, so when I shrink my character all the way down, it becomes a non-character, basically. It doesn't have a mesh anymore. So TextMesh Pro probably wouldn't render it. It would mark it as not visible, which means that it would probably not store its mesh information in the mesh info list or the mesh info array. Which means that after this, I think, well, actually, before we do that, let's call section.refresh effects and see if that will actually do anything. I'm curious. I actually don't know. Actually, I definitely don't know. It's not that I actually don't know, it's that I definitely don't know. Time of uncertainty learning these new things, but you know what? Will come out for the better because they're cool. Ask about game. Dang it! Still got a null reference. Is it the mesh info or the vertices? It's got to be the mesh or the vertices. I bet it's this. Um, well, I was going to actually have it maybe break out, but I don't think that that's a good idea. So, cache mesh info. I could try something like this. If label info I dot mesh info j dot mesh does not equal null. Let's give it a shot. Give it a shot. I have to admit, I'm a little disappointed that we've been here for almost 2 full hours and I haven't gotten it to work. I'm very disappointed in myself. I was kind of thinking that we would at least be able to get it to do something, and I guess we technically do. It's the freaking wobbling, though, that's killing me. The wandering. Now, again, if that was intentional, that would be a cool effect. But it's not intentional. It's frustrating. Let's see. Ask about shrinking, and it stops. That's interesting. It just stops. Why does it stop? Cache mesh info. There's label info coming in. Is that way up here? Okay. Let's do this. Label info of I is equal to info of I dot modified label info. Huh. That's really weird. It just kind of stops if we do it like that. Okay. Let's see it. Ask about game. Ah! Why do you stop? Something has to be. What's happening here? Is it? Why do you stop? Okay, well, I'm gonna put some debugs. Test 3. Test 4. Test 5. Okay. Let's see what happens. I kind of feel like there's something holding it up inside that loop. Because, I mean, obviously, it's not an infinite loop. We're not frozen. It just stops for some reason. So, I don't fully know why. But I will try to figure it out. So we're getting test. So we're getting tests 1, 3, 4, 5. They're all. Ah, here we are. Here we are. You. You might be the problem. 5 and make this one 6. Let's see what happens. That big fat continue there. But why would it affect everything? Um, the only thing I can think is that our base mesh info is the invisible info from the very beginning. But that should... excuse me. That shouldn't be the case. Although, just to be sure, I will come down here. So we're calling label info.initialize. Yeah, after everything. So let's find all references here. Speak section and text section. Huh. Okay. Well, let's test before we start trying to fix something that's not broken. Why did I put the debug there? That was stupid of me. Put it in front of the break. Ah! Yeah, I put it in front of it. Hold on. Move this to below the continue. There we are. That was dumb of me. I was going to say, of course the 5 is going to show up if it's just in front of the continue. It needs to be after it. Ask about game. Shrink. 555. Interesting. I mean, it's still calling everything. We get 1, 3, 4, 5. Which is fine. 2 only needs to be called whenever it's updating. But why aren't you moving then? Is anything else continuing? No. The mesh must be null. Let's just say no. So if that just comes out constantly, then the mesh is just screwy. I'm not crazy, right? Like I'm not doing something stupid here. Nope, not. Because if I don't have this check here, it's going to be null. And then it's going to throw a null reference exception. And that's just not good for anyone. Ask about game. Getting null? No. It is always null. It's always null. So that's why. Actually doing something else weird. I have to be doing something else weird. Like an incorrect check. What I don't understand is maybe I need to call refresh if that's the case. Would that work? I don't think that would work. What's really weird is that happened whenever I did this. That doesn't make sense. The base... Maybe it needs to be modified. No, no, that's so dumb. I'll try refreshing it. I don't know, maybe that'll force it open. I doubt it will. But let's see if it compiles and works. Because I would like it to, but I don't think that's actually going to do anything. That's depressing. I've become a fatalist because of this freaking vertex animation, man. Ask about game. Yep. Nope. It just hits that null point and then stops. It's just weird. I don't quite understand why that would happen. So we update geometry, yep, we update the mesh. It's gotta be something. It's gotta be something with how it's initialized. Like it's gotta be initializing with a bad set of variables. Like it's caching the wrong vertices or something. That is the only thing that I can think of. Where is it? Output. Here we are. I guess. See, and that's the thing. I can't just call initialize on it. It's not gonna work. All right. New thing. Maybe I need to do this. Where are you? There we are. I need to do that to do this. Copy. Let's set this back. Oops. Set that to be commented out. And we'll go ahead and comment that out too. Don't need to do it. So maybe it was because I wasn't copying it, or because I was passing references. We're like 2 inches away from the finish line, and I just can't get it to function properly. It's really bugging me. Alright. Nope. Still got drift. No, we don't have drift anymore. They're correct. I think. Yes, they are. They are correct. But it's doing the same thing that it did at the very beginning. So we don't get drift anymore, and we do get super fast scaling, which is problematic. Oh no. Oh no. I think I know what it is. Oh, that's gonna suck. I think. Get rid of this because this stuff isn't going to be a factor now. I think we need to manually track all of our mesh information for each character and then push those changes. Oh boy. That's not good. Oh. Because if we don't do that, then if we try to copy it, it's going to give us that offset rumbling. We can't do it that way. Oh, that's brutal. Okay. What can I do about that? I could try manually reconstructing it again, but I don't think that would work. Uh, well, my brain's a little fried, so I might call it a night a little early today. I'm gonna keep messing around with this, but there's no reason for me to stream me just sitting here going, I don't know. So, I mean, we did make a little bit of progress. I'm gonna put that to do in there. To do. Have to copy or mesh as will drift. I guess drift forever. So yeah, not ideal, but what are you gonna do? So I'll keep messing around with this, and hopefully I can get something solved by tomorrow or maybe Sunday. Uh, we'll see. So, I was gonna say my usual spiel that that's a pretty good place to stop for the night, but I feel kind of defeated now. That is certainly a place to stop for the night, just because I'm kind of mentally exhausted from trying to figure this thing out. So we should be back on Saturday to do our Devstream for custom content creation. That at least won't be, super crazy, although we will have some things in there that we gotta do. Um, some hoops to jump through, but yeah, nothing else really besides that springs to mind for announcements. So, as always, I want to thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all next time.